Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Anika B. Don't forget the Smith baby, the one and only. And today I did a tutorial on this deep plum full-on beat date night glam, which was a total and complete accident, but it came out beautifully. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, just keep on watching. Okay, y'all, so the first thing we're going to do is prime. And the first one I'm going to take is my NYX Total Control Primer, and I'm going to apply that to my cheeks, to my chin, to the bridge of my nose, and to my forehead. And I applied a little bit too much, but that's okay. Then I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my fingers, and I'm going to work that in with my NYX Total Control Primer all over the skin. And what this is going to do is just give me a nice underlying radiance through my foundation and on my skin. And then I'm going to take my NYX Brunette micro brow pencil that literally has nothing left in it, and I'm going to apply that just to the, see, nothing really, but I'm just going to use the nothing that's left in this pencil and just apply that just to the inner corners of my brow. And I'm going to take that a little bit, like halfway through my brow, just to like the arch. Y'all, it's like nothing there. And then I'm going to take my Ulta Beauty brow gel. This is in medium brown, and I'm just going to go right over that NYX brow pencil just for some extra coverage. And then I'm going to take my Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil. You already know the color, 4.5, and I'm going to fill in the rest of my brows. I really love this pencil. I'm telling y'all, this one won me over. And this one is not the pencil that costs like $32. They have a mini form, so to speak, and this one was only $13. So I went with the cheaper one because I wasn't trying to hurt my pockets, but this one is the same formula and it works the same way, just a little bit cheaper. And the brows are done. They look so good. Now I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. Y'all already know what it is. And I'm going to carve out my brows. Make them look nice and sharp. And get the whole face ready for this beat down. And if you can see, I'm not slapping on the concealer. I'm just using maybe, it's less than an inch worth of product just to make sure it's really precise under my brow and under my arch to really carve those brows out. And then I'm just bringing that product down toward my lid just to give me a nice clean base. And actually, I just wanted to say that I needed to get my eyebrows done. I just want to let y'all know. I needed to get my eyebrows done really bad while I was doing this look. And you can't really tell because the brows came out really good. I was very impressed with the way these brows came out. Especially because they like needed to be done like yesterday. But they ended up coming out so good. I was just very impressed. See what happens when you take your time? And then I'm going to take this Real Techniques 300 Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm going to blend that out. Let me tell y'all a little secret about this brush, okay? When I first bought this brush, it came in a set of like 3 different brushes, and I just knew that it was for this purpose. I just knew that it was like a concealer brush, and it's not. It's not. It's obviously for the crease. It's obviously for eyeshadow, but listen, it works so good to blend out product, child. Like, just look at that. Now I'm going to take my NYX eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm going to prime my lid with that. This is actually the same brush, I believe. This is the same brush that I use to apply my LA Girl Pro Concealer. And then I'm just going to take that same deluxe crease brush and I'm going to just blend that product out. And you already know, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Now I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way setting powder and I'm going to set that with the same crease brush. And then before we start on the other step, I'm going to take a quick tea break, and now I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color orange, and you already know I'm going to color correct. This is where I got a little product happy because I actually applied too much and I was scared that this look was going to come out looking really red, like my base, my foundation was going to come out looking really red, but you'll see. I ended up blending the mess out of this color corrector because yeah, we can't have that. And I'm just blending it all out. Blend. You see how good that brush works to blend out product? It's just amazing. And now I'm going to take my Too Faced setting powder and I'm going to set that concealer. And I'm going to set the crap out of that concealer because I needed that orange to calm down. Like for real. And this is the translucent setting powder. And I'm setting that everywhere. Everywhere. And make sure all of that is nicely set. And now that all of that is done, I'm going to go into my Ruby Kisses contour palette, and I'm going into that second to darkest shade. And I'm also going to use this brush that I got from Primark. This is the 252 eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm going to apply that as my transition shade. And then with that same brush, I'm going into my Makeup Revolution Emily palette, and I'm going into the shade Prayer. And I'm going to apply that right over top of that brown shade. And I'm applying this in my crease and a little bit above it toward my brown bone. And then I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Pro HD Amplified 35 palette, and I'm going to take that dark, it's like a purplish brownish, and I'm going to take this Primark-251 Eye and Crease brush, and I'm going to apply that right into my crease and right at the outer V of my eye, on both eyes, just to deepen that up a little bit. Yep. And then I'm going to take this Ulta Beauty, just an eyeshadow brush, and I went into the shade Apartment back into my Makeup Revolution Emily palette, and I'm going to apply that the same place I applied that dark shade in my crease to really deepen that up even the more. Then I'm going to take this brown shade from the HD Amplified palette, and I'm going to deepen that up even more. We're going for a deep crease, y'all. And I really was just kind of winging it with this look. I didn't really have it in mind, but this is what I came up with. And I really love the way it came out. My original plan was to do a soft beat, but things went south with that. And I'm just cleaning up any harsh lines. No harsh edges. There we go. Perfect. And now I'm going back into that amplified palette, and I'm taking this like peachy brown shade on a flat brush, and I just sprayed it down with some matte setting spray, and I'm applying that right to my lid. And it turned out to be a nice matte look, but looking in the mirror at it, I didn't like it too much. So I decided to go into the Emily palette, the color Cupcake, and just to brighten it up a bit. It looks more like champagne-y golden on my lid, but in the palette, it was like a nice pink iridescent shade. And then I'm going into the shade Good Vibes, and I'm just going to put it right on top of that. Yes, just to calm it down a little bit. Y'all already know who it is. He need his 5 minutes of fame. And I'm just cleaning that up. And we are done with the eyes. Done. Now I'm going into my favorite, the Black Radiance BB Cream, True Complexion BB Cream in the color Brown Sugar. And I'm also going into my NYX Total Control Foundation in the color Mocha. And I'm applying that all over my skin. And then I'm going into this NYX foundation brush. I guess it's like the Total Control foundation brush or something. And it just has the number 22 on it. And I am just going to blend my life away. You guys already know the drill. Rule number 1, 2, and 3, and every other rule in between. Blend till you can't blend no more. And then still keep blending. And still keep blending. And still keep blending. And still keep blending. Just blend until you can't blend no more. And then after that, still keep blending.
70 years later.
And we are finally done blending out that foundation. Now I'm going to take this Wet n Wild matte finishing spray and just spray my face down. And once that's done, I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define concealer. This is in the color 12.5, and I'm going to conceal and highlight. And you already know the drill with that. Under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, right at the top of my lip, and on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And I didn't always do my chin, guys. I don't know. I still don't do that much of it because I don't really want my chin to be that pronounced. You see, it's already kind of pointy. So, like, I just leave that where it's at. And after I'm done applying that, I'm going to my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Tan Sand, and I'm just going to apply a little bit right over top of that Makeup Revolution concealer, just to brighten it up. Cause y'all believe I was literally calling this a soft glam look? That's what I had in my mind the whole time I was doing this. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to let that dry down just a little bit while I take my tea break. And then I'm going to take that same NYX brush, you already know what it is, and I'm going to blend my life away with that. Blending it out, blending it out, blending it out, blending it out. Just blending all that concealer out. And just give me a second because that tear started coming. My eyes get so watery, y'all, so watery. And now we're back to blending. So watery, it's crazy. Blend out all that concealer. And then just taking what's left on my brush to just cut that cheek. Sharpen that contour before I even apply the contour. There we go. And then I'm just going to blend out that nose highlight on the forehead. right? And after that, I'm going back into that child, I'm tired, translucent Too Faced powder. And I'm going in with this Real Techniques. This is actually a blush brush. Say that 3 times fast. And I'm going to just set and bake very lightly. Then I'm going to take this contour brush. This is another trick that I do. And I'm just going to put that in my translucent powder and set everywhere I cut my cheek. And then I'm just going to wipe off that excess powder and add a little bit of color. Then I'm going back into that dark brownish purple shade, and I'm taking that crease brush and I'm going to just apply a little color on my lash line, just to bring the whole look together. And then I'm going to take that Ulta Beauty eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take that dark brown shade from the Makeup Revolution palette, the 35 palette, and I'm just going to darken up under my eyes just to give it a little bit of depth. And then I'm just wiping off that excess powder. Just going to take my Maybelline New York Super Stay Powder Foundation in the color 375 Java, and I'm going to take the same contour brush that I used to cut the cheek, and I'm just going to use this as a base for my contour. And I'm just going to apply this very lightly in the areas I want to contour on my cheek. Then I'm going to take the last two darkest shades in my Ruby Kisses contour palette and just contour my face. Bring the structure back to my face. Bring that structure to my face. And now I'm just going to take this little NYX blending brush, and I'm going to take the second, the darkest shade in that contour palette, and contour my nose. You never want to use anything too dark to contour your nose because it will look muddy and dark and just a mess. And I'm just going to bring that up into my eyeshadow to connect everything and make everything look seamless. And now I'm just taking this Wet n Wild eyeliner that I use for lip liner and I'm just going to line my waterline. And now I'm taking my e.l.f. No Budge retractable liner in black, and I'm going to line the top of my eyelid. Pretty much just lining my lash line. Just to bring the whole eye look together. And then I'm also going to line my waterline. Go right over top of that brown. Yep. And then I'm going to try not to cry and ruin my makeup. Then I'm going to take this NYX blush and Feel the Heat. And I'm going to apply this to my cheeks, the apples of my cheeks, right over top of that contour, just to warm up the face and make this look almost finished. A look is never complete without blush. And then here you go. And then I'm going to take my NYX Born to Glow palette, and I'm going to take this bronzy shade right over top that pink shade, and I'm going to use this shade to highlight my brow bone. And then I'm also going to take that right in the inner corner of my eye to bring that eye look together and add a little pop. And then I'm going to take this Real Techniques. This is actually a this is actually a setting brush. This is the 402 setting brush, but I'm going to use this to highlight. And then I'm just going to take my blush brush and I'm just going to calm that highlight down just a little bit. It's a little bit too blinding for me. And you know we can't forget about the Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take my L'Oreal, this is not L'Oreal, this is Maybelline New York Great Lash Mascara in brownish black. And I'm going to apply a light coat to my bottom lashes. Then I'm going to take my hand fan and just let that dry down a little bit, because next we are going to take my L'Oreal primer and apply that right over top of that, so we get those bottom lashes nice and popping. And then I'm going to take this Lancome, I don't know what this word is, Definicilus mascara in black and go right over top of that. And then the ultimate mascara mistake. Yes, I got a little on my face. A mess. But you already know we're going to let that dry down a bit. And then I'm just going to take my brush and clean that up. Act like it was never there. See? Perfect. Then I'm going to take my Wet n Wild eyeliner, the brown one, and I'm going to line my lips with this. Top and bottom lips. And then I'm also going to draw a line right down the middle of the top and my bottom lip just to give it a little bit more fullness and definition. And then I'm going to take this lipstick. I believe this is from L'Oreal as well. It's like a hot pink. I don't know what I was thinking. On camera, it doesn't look that bad, but in person, it was really, really clashing with this look, and I didn't really like it too much. So, you'll see. It's a no-no for me. So, I'm just going to go right back into my Maybelline matte lipstick in Beige Babe and go right over that. And that I enjoyed so much more. And get that a good old blot. And I know y'all hear my jazz in the background. Yes, I have it playing. So enjoy this little impromptu jazz selection. I love my jazz. Then I'm going to, after that, just take my Makeup Revolution Pro Fix spray and spray my face down. I mean, drench it. And after that, I'm going to take my Nana Coco tinted lip gloss in Hidden Desires, and I'm going to apply that right over top. Yes, ma'am, and that completes my date night full on glam, okay? I went out with my husband that night. We did end up going on a date, hence the name. That night with this look on my face, and I just loved it. He loved it, and it's been a long time since I did a full-on look, so I really, really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you try it out. I hope you go get some of the products, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, y'all, peace. I love you. Bye.